Have you ever wondered why the market suddenly reverses from certain zones? Like you just be watching the market like this and you will just be able to see how market just turn from a particular zone. There are so many reasons why a market will turn from a particular zone, but one of the major reasons why a market is going to turn from a particular zone is because of one of the most powerful concepts in trading, which is actually order block. I make use of other blocks to trade, but see this particular trade that is running, I didn't use other block to do this. I use fib, and I also showed this in my previous video how I use fib and other blocks to take my trades. This trade was actually called in my signal group, which you are seeing over here. If you want to join my signal group, just type interested in the comment section or send me a DM and I'll add you to the signal group. So let's go on. So what's an order block? Another block is the last bullish or bearish candle before a strong move. And what's that strong move? The strong move is actually our TP hit. So for those on my signal group, congratulations, you just had 3R. So another block is the last bullish or bearish candle before a strong move. And what's that strong move? A break of structure or a change of character is my strong move. Okay, so it's the last one before a break of structure or a change of character. And I'm going to show you an example of that. Over here, this is the last order block before my change of character. Okay, let me show you something simpler. Or before my break of structure, let me show you something simpler. Let's go. All right, we are here. Let's move to 5 minutes. If I use 5 minutes, it's be easier. There's going to be so many break of structures that we can easily identify the other block. All right, so we are here. So over here, I like to expand my candles. Over here, we have market do what? Swept this low. And then we see the last bearish or bullish candle. Now this is a sell market, so when it's on a sell market, it's going to be the last bullish candle. So this is the last bullish candle before the break of structure, which is going to be the valid order block. You see how I marked out my break of structure? So demure. I don't know why I love that word, but that's by the way. I follow me. Now let's do for another example. We have this over here. Okay, market broke structure, and then we have this. That's the last order block before the break of structure. Let's see what happened there. Okay, market still took it up, but you can see as market got to the other block, it sold. So when there's a break of structure, the last block before the break of structure is your order block. I don't know if that is easy explained. And this is for the bearish order block. For the bearish, this is a bearish order block. For the bearish order block, it is the last bullish candle. The last bullish candle, follow me, is the before the break of structure is the bearish order block. Now let's look for an example of a bullish order block that's actually valid and market mitigated. Let's go. Let's see. Hold on, guys. Let's look for a bullish order block. Now we have over here, we have this markets broke structure to the upside. Follow me. The last bearish block before the break of structure is the bullish order block. I don't know if that makes sense to you, or if I've explained it in a way you can actually understand. So I've given you these two examples, the example of a bullish order block and the example of a bearish order block. The bullish order block occurs before a break of structure to the upside. The bearish order block is the block before a break of structure to the downside. Okay. Now, how to identify a valid order blocks? You see, when I was actually looking for these order blocks, I was going through the charts because there were so many break of structures and there were so many candles, but some of the candles we are not actually holding. For example, look at this area. We have this to the upside. We have this. Okay. Let's use something like this. We have this. Market broke the structure, but you see, market did not use this block to sell. It took it out. Let's look at this. It took it out here. Let's look for another area. It's not every time market respects that order block. Let's go. We have, I think, that trade we took. You can see here, market did not use this part to sell. Market did not use here to sell. It said it went as high as here. There's also another block here. It went as high as here to sell. Okay, so what makes an order block a valid order block? Why we are actually wanting to know what makes an order block a valid order block is because there are so many blocks there, and when you try to use it, you might get a poor win rate. Okay, so the first is you look for a strong displacement after the order block, and this is why I love moving from 1 minute to a 5 minutes or a 3 minutes to identify my valid order block. For example, look at this area. If I want to identify my order block here to take my trade, assuming I did not use fee, I wanted to use an order block. This is 5 minutes. I want my chart to be less noisier. What do I mean? As market displays to the downside from here, coming down to this point, I need it to be clean. I need the candles here to be clean. To do that, I have to go to a higher time frame, because the higher the time frame, the less the noise on the candles. So if I move to a 15 minutes time frame now, let's see what's gonna happen. You see, the noise on the candles are reducing. When I now move to a 30 minutes time frame, you see the noise have totally reduced. That's why you have to actually pay for your trading view. This trading view is not actually paid for, but if you pay for your trading view, you can use other time frames to be able to get a good time frame where the blocks are reduced. Now, so many traders out there have their own strategies to be able to identify blocks in a noisy environment. When the charts are noisy, they have a way of identifying their own order blocks. But what I'm showing you here is a simple way to easily identify your order blocks without stress. Now you can see that this displacement we had here, the only area we are having a valid order block is from here, and you can actually use that area to take your trade. Are you following me? So when you increase the chart to a higher time frame, that is for those that are trading like me. You are the one that normally trades 1 minute, 3 minutes. Are you following me? When you increase your chart to a higher time frame, you get to see areas where you can take your trade from, and you can target a good 3-hour trade. Okay, so a long or a strong displacement after the order blocks make that particular order block valid. Okay, and then there's another thing most traders do that makes an order block valid. For example, let me first draw. Market broke structure to the downside, and let's say our order block is here. Okay, another thing that makes another block valid after a strong displacement is that market goes up without tapping that order block and creates liquidity around the order block and then sells. Market is likely to go back to that area and dump. That's another thing that makes your order block valid. It caused a break of structure, it had a strong displacement, and there's a liquidity resting below or above the order block. Okay, now truth is, order blocks are actually like footprints left by the banks. This is what ICT says about order block. But my narrative behind order blocks is that they are footprints left by buyers and sellers in the market. When you say the banks, I I tend to have a different narrative behind it, because I found my edge not by actually listening to what so many traders are saying. I found my edge by the beliefs I had about it. Are you following me? So I will tell you that based on my beliefs, and for those that are actually learning to try to learn trading from me, other blocks are like footprint left by buyers and sellers in the market. So when you learn to spot them, they give you a better advantage in trading. Okay, you want to actually have trades where your entries are actually precise. You want to have trades where you have like sniper executions and all that. Other blocks are going to help you do that. Okay, so I hope I was able to use this video to explain what an order block is. And if you love this video, click the subscribe link button and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much for watching.